What is up, RotoGrinders? 2 hours nonstop. MLB DFS conversation starts right now on a Monday. Happy Monday, happy Memorial Day, happy Movie Monday. We'll get that first clue out of the way for the people. Get yourself a week free of RG Premium. Hey, if you're here early, let's give them the first clue. Why not? Producer TJ is at the wheel. Theft. Theft is the first clue for today's Movie Monday. It's myself, Bobby Gomes. You got TJ spinning all the plates, coming in for analysis later on in the show, as well as Derek Carty, CEO of The Bat. Bobby, happy Monday. How are things? We doing all right?
Doing pretty good. Just had an interesting I bumped into Bill Burr while I was getting my coffee, seen a celebrity. Think I got a little big timed. I was big time, but you don't bother a guy when he's grabbing his coffee, so I didn't really bother him. I was just like, hey, Bill Burr.
You gave us the story in the pre-show. You kind of ran it down. And if I remember, it just happened. You said that he said he kind of gave you like an elbow, like something.
He gave me an elbow. Yeah.
Not like an elbow to the face, not like a Draymond elbow, like an elbow, like a.
We were like directly. I wouldn't have said, "Hey, what's up, Bill Burr?" If we weren't right next to each other in line,
Yeah.
What a game of space. He got his coffee, went in the back. I went in the other direction. I didn't want to bust his balls,
Yeah. Yeah. And he probably doesn't want a whole scene. Like if, he doesn't seem like a look at me kind of guy. That's kind of the impression I get. Yeah. Look at me.
He's like an interesting. So I was telling you, I grew up in my neighborhood's in the heart of Boston, grew up my whole life. He has this wicked strong Boston accent, and he's from the suburbs. He's not from Boston, right?
You think he's putting it on? Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know. It's interesting. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, people.
He's funny though, occasionally.
Yeah. I think Burr is one of the best ones going today, in my opinion. But hey, you know what, Bobby? Maybe next time you're on, you can do tiers of comedians. Your favorite comedians, least favorite comedians. I'm
not a big comedy guy.
Oh well, never mind then. Just sort of throwing it out there as an option.
I like old comedy, I guess.
It sounds like you're about to say Seinfeld. Is that what you're about to say?
That would be the type of comedy that I like.
Yeah. Clean comedy is what you're saying. You like clean comedy. You don't like the profanity. Seinfeld doesn't curse.
No, I think it's funny. Just what's the type of comedy what's the genre of comedy, I guess?
I don't observational
comedy.
Observational comedy, yeah.
What's the deal? I can't. I don't know why I'm doing the. I can't.
I enjoy observational comedy. I don't know. I like Chappelle. Who's that guy with the mullet? He's pretty good.
You're thinking of the guy that was Theo Vaughn?
Theo Vaughn, yeah, I like Theo Vaughn.
The guy with the mullet? Yeah, it's the first one that came to mind.
But I'm not big on I like to laugh, but I don't know.
Casey says Mitch Hedberg. I love Mitch Hedberg. He was not a big sample, but what he gave us was spectacular. Just one-liners, just stoner one-liners, basically, but very, very clever stuff too. Love Mitch Hedberg.
I like clever comedy, yeah. Clever observational comedy.
Let's say what's up to the chat. Hit that like button. Do subscribe. Do turn on those notifications. And as I said, we did drop. TJ dropped it for you. The first clue for today's Movie Monday. Get yourself a week free of RotoGrinders Premium. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, MMA, PGA, WNBA, projections, optimizer. Dave Potts, Cheese is Good. His article. I just read that before we jumped in the show. You do not need to get Movie Monday to get yourself some Spidey Bombs, though. It's just the like button. Everybody hits the like button. Spidey Bombs are incoming every 50 likes. Spidey and TJ on his behalf will go ahead and drop Spidey Bombs in the chat. Chris Farley was not a comedian. He was a comedian, but he wasn't a stand-up. So far, I don't believe he ever did stand-up. If he did, it wasn't his
wasn't Saturday Night Live sort of a stand-up?
Well, it's comedy for sure. It's skits though.
But it wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. No,
I mean, yeah, Farley was great, but I wouldn't say he was a stand-up comedian. Just comedy, just a different way of doing it. All right. 7-gamer. Oh, I do want to mention Roth. Yeah, Roth has a dicey game later on. The tricky thing about this slate, one of the tricky things about it, by the way, FanDuel did their weird thing. Their main slate is at 6 o'clock. So we're going to be focusing on DraftKings. Like their slate right now it's chopped up a couple different ways, and there'll be content on the site obviously for that focuses on the main slate for FanDuel. I know that Dave's going to write about them as well. The FanDuel slate later on, and there's tags and there's rankings and things of that sort as well on the site if you're playing on FanDuel. But we're going to focus on DK, much bigger prize pools. Cincinnati and Kansas City, Bobby. It's 3 hours after the slate starts. There's several games that start late. Like DK extended it to 4 o'clock or so. Currently, we're orange-yellow for Kansas City. And Roth basically says, he's like, look, I feel pretty confident. And I'm just paraphrasing on behalf of Roth. He'll be on later if anything changes. Of course, he'll give you some more clarity. He's like, I know what's going to happen weather-wise, but I don't know how they're going to handle it. Essentially, he's saying they're going to postpone it or they're going to play soaked. So that's where we're at, and they're probably not going to call it right now. It's Memorial Day. I imagine there's probably big crowds expected for Memorial Day, so they probably want to get it in if they can. But do they want to just rain on the people for 3 hours? I don't know. But, just be aware of that. Slate starts at 1:10, San Fran, Detroit, only game, then there's an hour break. And then we have Toronto at Texas at 4:05, Chicago at the Mets at 4:10, Cincinnati at the Royals 4:10. So there are games to pivot away. If you're playing some Royal stacks, things like that, or Cincinnati, however you're handling that game, probably not, the pitchers don't seem very necessary to me. We'll have that conversation.
I disagree with you on that. I liked Lorenzen.
He's playable.
He's not. I don't think he's as playable now because of the time in that game and what are the swap options?
If you had
Birdsong, throw Nick Martinez into the mix and GBPs.
If you had Birdsong at the same time, you could just pivot to Birdsong, but he's pitching at 1 o'clock, so cross him out. The rest of the pitchers are Eric Fetty, Charlie Morton, Carson Palmquist, and Jamison Taillon, and that's the obvious one. But you need to find some salary too. You're probably not going to have, I shouldn't say probably, most likely, you're not going to have, what would it be lying around? Taillon's 210. Gausman, DeGrom, again, you're going to need to do some salary stuff there. Certainly those two of the better pitchers throwing baseballs today. DeGrom is looking more and more like his old self of late. But again, big salary difference. Clay Holmes also usable. Great ballpark against the horrific White Sox. Just you'll need some pivots. You'll need some 2v2s. Downgrade one of your hitters if you're going to move from Lorenzen to one of those pitchers. But again, Roth will come on. But as of right now, I'm just not really planning on using. I don't love that game as is. I guess I would just say. And Dave actually wrote up exactly the way I thought about it. It's one of those games where for all four angles, Martinez, Lorenzen, Reds, Royals, I just sort of feel like I don't think I need any of this. That was sort of
I strongly disagree on the Lorenzen side.
Wow, look at you with the Michael Lorenzen takes. I think he's
not that.
fine.
It's just it's good pitching weather, right? It would have been good pitching weather if we weren't getting so much rain. Your other option is you're basically jamming Jamison Taillon at that point, and whether you're comfortable with that or not, it's fine. But the pitching build is very obvious between Crochet and Taillon, just those two pitchers in general for cash, I would imagine. So for me, a guy like Lorenzen was a pivot off of playing a guy like Taillon at 8-6 on DK. And it was relatively good pitching weather. Cincinnati has a high K rate. Lorenzen's been all right this year, so I didn't mind it. If you wanted to get different at pitching, I thought there was an opportunity to go that route.
Yeah. I mean, Lorenzen's a perfectly average pitcher, the way I sort of see it.
Well, so is Jamison Taillon.
Yes.
And he's going to be 45% owned. Do you want to play 45%? I played Soroka yesterday and got my stuff handed to me. You know what I mean? Because
And you deserved it, right?
And
Well, he was also really
I should have
cheap. I
knew
played
that
him
he
too.
was coming in at the percentage of ownership that he was, and I still jammed him. So
I mean, obviously the lead is that Tyon's facing a terrible team and a really, really good ballpark today for weather. You mentioned the weather in Wrigley right now, according to Ross, weather total 86 games, so it's a pretty big sample. 59 is the temp, 11 mile per hour wind coming in from dead center. So we've seen homers get a decrease in that 86 game sample at 34%, 15% decrease in runs as well. So, he feels pretty good to me, but I do understand the point you're making.
Yeah, but you're fine with playing Mets, Tyon, and Crochet. Like I'm not fine with that.
Well, sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will find ways to play it differently. The Mets are probably the most popular team on the board against Adrian Hauser, biggest total of 5.5. And I tend to not play 5-3s. I also play in small contests, so I don't really have to get too goofy. And maybe I just play DeGrom instead of Crochet is something I might do. As far as ownership right now,
I think that is makes a ton of sense. Just going to DeGrom instead of Crochet.
Our ownership is not as distinct as I thought it would be. We have Crochet at 49%, DeGrom at 38%. But maybe the field's gonna basically make it a coin toss. I thought the gap would be a little bit more. What do you got, TJ?
I was just gonna say I think a lot of them are gonna. I guess I didn't really need to come in because I'm on crunch time. I forgot about that. I think a lot of people are going to be playing both of them together because there's a lot of cheap bats today.
That's the other point I was getting at. I don't think I need Lorenzen, and double barrel Crochet DeGrom is interesting. And I'm not going to stray beyond Crochet DeGrom. I probably won't get the Holmes, but I'm fine with Holmes. The K's have gone down of late, but the matchup, of course, the ballpark. And if he sticks around for 5, he's got a really good shot at least getting those 4 win points. We don't need that, but I'll take it. Gausman, Tyon, and then I think Birdsong is interesting as well. He's been good. It's basically all been out of the bullpen with the exception of the last game. They also didn't really extend him, as you'd imagine. 85 pitches is his current projection, but it's sort of baked in. He's 7'8". So I'm just not going to go beyond that personally. Crochet,
I might
DeGrom,
slightly
Holmes.
prefer Clay Holmes to DeGrom.
Okay.
Like you're saving the 700 and then it's like correlated with your Met stack.
Do I need to save the 700 is kind of the question that
Well,
I'm
maybe not
trying to think how tight the cap
said
is.
like salary is you can get cheap bats. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore will have some cheap pieces. We don't have a lot of just yet, but like Kierstead's projected. We're projecting Rushman. He left yesterday's game. I think it was due to injury because it was like in the 4th or 5th inning. And it was a really close
Rushman
game.
stinks for what it's worth.
He's been bad. Yeah, he's not been good. I don't know what's going on with him. It's not been a good year for him. Yeah, TJ's mentioning Gunner's price. Gunner down to 4.3 on DK. I know he's been disappointing, but he's still hitting the ball really hard. I think he's hitting too many ground balls. But he's probably going to be your cash game. If you're playing cash games, your cash game shortstop just looks like an awesome play. Other thoughts? Do you have any overall thoughts as far as the slate? We typically do pitching, but let's kind of bounce back and forth. And I'm curious your just overall approach for the slate. You mentioned the Mets. You mentioned some of the pitcher stuff you like. We got to see what Roth has to say as far as the weather later on. Did we just get a Cubs lineup? Did that just happen? Let's see. Yeah, Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, Swanson, PCA, Horner, Turner, Shaw, McGuire. McGuire banged out 2 homers yesterday, and they're giving him another start. I wouldn't expect that. Something weird going on with Cubs catchers. Although it's over for Carson Kelly. Just so you know, it's over. It's midnight. It's not happening anymore.
He homered 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it's over.
You're just calling it? What do you have to back that up?
It's just because he was playing out of his mind. He's got 9 homers to start this year, but I refuse to believe
he's going to get more at bats with Amaya getting hurt.
Yeah, well, they do have McGuire, so we'll see.
I just he's playing out of his mind. What reason is there to take him out of the lineup? Other than why was he scratched yesterday? I have no idea.
Carson Kelly, was he scratched yesterday? I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was scratched. He was originally in.
I'm not sure. Maybe he's dinged. Yeah. I don't know what the story is with him, but I don't know. Maybe they're not awarding McGuire. It's just that they need him. He's got, let's see, do they have a body part for him? He's 30 years old and having this ridiculous career year. I don't see it.
He's probably juicing, Dean. Like, who cares as long as he's hitting home runs?
Well, I mean, I'm just not assuming that's the likely scenario. It's maybe who knows what he's up to, but
Dean is like the player hater of the year.
I'm not hating anybody.
Why can't he? It's baseball. Like, why can't he just be good and have come along late? You see it plenty.
I'm saying congratulations. He's having a heck of a start, but I just don't see I don't see how Carson Kelly is going to keep this. Because his numbers are like, I don't want to say Aaron Judge like, but if you look at what he's doing, it's outrageous. If he had the qualified number of bats, which I don't know if he does, he would be like a top 10 in the league in a lot of like advanced stat stuff, I believe. So I'm just not buying it.
Yesterday if he didn't get scratched, and then I didn't play McGuire and he hit 2 dingers. So.
I didn't have him. I did not have McGuire. And I'm not chasing it today, I don't think. Well, it's a punt, whatever. You want a punt catcher, I guess you can do that. No lineup just yet for Milwaukee. We got San Fran, Detroit, Boston, Navarez in the 3-hole again.
Navarez is in the 3-hole?
I think he had cleanup yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. Obviously they lost Bregman. He's going to be out for a bit.
But like, why is Navarez like the choice for the 3 or the 4-hole?
I think they don't want to go left with Duran, Devers, Abreu. My guess is that because I think Abreu is a better hitter than Navarez. I think he got his first career stolen base yesterday too. What's that?
You can't put like Christian Campbell there, or
he's batting cleanup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Navarez stinks.
He's not. Yeah, he's not great. He's not very good. He's no Carson Kelly, that's for sure. And we might not have some lineups. Just kind of a heads up going into the slate. At 1:00 for a lock. Probably at least one of like Texas, Toronto, Chicago.
That's easily the thing I hate the most when we get these early slates, because you have to really like think through your 2v2s at that point, and I have 2 kids and I'm not going to do that. So,
we have some guesses here in the live stream chat channel for today's Movie Monday. It is not The Italian Job or The Natural or Den of Thieves or Big Lebowski or shout out to the Jacksonville Honey Dripper background. So just a heads up, I had to restart a bunch of stuff on my computer, and when I restarted it, like it lost my backdrop, so I had to put a new one in.
What is this backdrop? Is this like Stevie's backdrop?
Well, it is a minor league baseball hat. Is the Jacksonville Honey Drippers. Honey Dripper is like a local drink in Jacksonville, and they did like an homage to it for a couple weeks or so. They're typically the jumbo shrimp, of course, but they changed to they rebranded for a few weeks, and they are the Honey Drippers. That is the Honey Dripper hat, Honey Dripper apparel. And then I found that picture when we had to go on do the show, and I couldn't find my RG banner, and I'm like, where is it at? Why is it not under? And I kept typing for it. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to put the.
I'm interested to know what other options you had.
Yeah, I almost put up Larry David. There's really nothing that's spicy if that's what you're getting at. Larry David almost made the board, but I'm like, look, this is a pretty sweet hat. We'll throw up the Honey Drippers. All right, keep hitting that like button. 12 more likes. We get a Spidey bomb. You want to power rank the pitchers, and how deep is your pitching pool? Like I talked about, it's probably 6. I'm not going to get to Hauser. I know Charlie Morton's been a little bit better of late, and good for him, but there's no chance I roster Charlie Morton. I'm not Chad Patrick. I know that Boston lineup's not spectacular, but that's not happening for me. Montero's not happening. I think there's a true opportunity cost. At least one of Crochet and DeGrom has a big game. And then Holmes, Gausman, Tyon, Birdsong puts up – one of those guys I think puts up at least a 20 as well. Your approach to pitching, is there any sort of lock button? Are you making one lineup today? Making 5? Making 100? What are we
Making
doing?
5. I'm making 5.
Anybody locking in all 5?
I don't know if I'm going to lock. If I had to rank them, it would be Crochet. It would have been Lorenzen.
You love Lorenzen.
Yeah, because I don't know how much I love Tyon as chalk, but maybe I should take the approach that you're taking.
Double barrel.
Yeah, double barrel.
Which means I can't play the Cubs.
I'll rank them. Crochet, Lorenzen, Clay Holmes, DeGrom, Tyon, and Birdsong would be my 5 that I'm going to play around with, I guess.
Yeah.
I do think that you need to. I wouldn't like Crochet and if you want to win today, I wouldn't play Crochet and Tyon together. I would try to do something around.
Well, you can do that, and you can just stack the Cardinals or something like that.
Well, I want to Met. My strongest take on this slate is I want to Met on every team. So
okay. You don't care that the ballpark stinks. It's Adrian Hauser, and that's that. The ballpark.
Well, no, because look at the run totals in every game; they've all gone down. Literally every single one has dipped. Cubs, Rockies, Cubs down. Baltimore's down. St. Louis is down. I mean, the Red Sox are still fine. I don't mind them as a stack. KC's down. Detroit, San Fran, it's like every team. So I want the Mets because they have the highest team total by a good margin, and I want Mets on my team.
The Cubs team total last night was like 5.5.
With pitching, these guys are going to be way too highly owned because everything's so congested between the pitcher ownership.
Let's drop that second clue for Movie Monday. The second clue is lock. So theft and lock. Cards in chat says, cannot wait for my Cardinals to lose to Charlie Morton. Well, these are the 9 guys that would lose. The lineup was just dropped. Newtbar, Wynn, Donovan, Contreras, Herrera. Herrera's 5'7" on DK. Good Lord.
Steals bags, Dean. He has power and he steals bags.
How many bags has he stolen this year?
He stole yesterday.
Okay. Well, okay. Yesterday. Okay. How many has he stolen before yesterday?
As far as I seen yesterday, he's running, so I don't mind him. I like the Cardinals stack, Dean. Don't poop.
Do you want to know how many stolen bases he has this season? How many did he have before yesterday?
1?
Yes. He doesn't steal bags.
He does. He's getting his wheels
hurt,
going.
I know. And I'm fairly certain I was watching was it Boston yesterday, and I think I saw, was it Navarez? It got his first ever career stolen base. So he steals bags too, according to Poppy, because he stole one yesterday.
He's it's not like he's who was the guy who would never steal. Neither of these guys are that guy.
Well, remember what was the Husky guy? The guy used to play for the Mariners. He was the CEO of Team Girth, first baseman. They made a commercial out of him. He was in the Mets. He was in the Mariners. They mocked like he was going to steal a base. Oh God, Buck Showalter was like, I'm not giving this guy the steal sign. Why can't I think of this dude's name? Somebody in chat, help me out. Bail me out. He's no longer in baseball. Vogelbach. Thank you, Casey. Daniel Vogelbach. Yeah. I remember Grant would always bet no stolen base for Vogelbach. He'd be like thousands of dollars to get like $2 or something like that every day. Whatever it was. Whatever they let him bet. Betting no. One day, he never got burned. I don't think he ever stole a base. I'm fairly certain of that. And if he did, Grant will probably
being big girth guy. He loves the girth.
It's underrated. Anything else we want to say as far as pitchers that are of note before we dive in and start talking about our stacks? You kind of gave your case. Are you just waiting? What are we doing with the
DeGrom, Clay Holmes, and no Crochet?
Sure, why not? Yeah, we can do that.
I like that.
Yeah, this White Sox team, it's been 2 months. It's just they're bad. We know they're bad. I will say that they're somewhat contact heavy, right? As far as their projected lineup, 22.2%, and they're also patient. 10.5% as far as walks. It's a big walk number this year and last year.
Does Clay Holmes give up a bunch of walks?
As far as his walks, I think his walks are okay-ish. Let's see. I think it's on the fringe. 8.8%. 8.8%. It's a little bit too much. A little bit too much. Not ideal, but it's not like Adrian Hauser territory or Robbie Ray territory. It's a little bit of an overspend, I think, on Holmes, but again, you're good shot at getting those 4 win points. Mr. Richards telling me Vogelbach 0 career stolen bases. He never got there. Not even like the back end, of a double steal. Never once did he get that coveted first ever stolen base. They should have, they give him the baseball when you get your first hit. If he ever did, they should give him the bag. They never do that, right? They never. I guess it's more of a disruption to the game. Anything else as far as pitchers? I think it's really cut and dry. It's really cut and dry. Crochet and DeGrom.
Never really cut and dry though, Dean.
Well, pre-flop, it's cut and dry.
Stacks are cut and dry. Play the Mets. That's cut and dry.
By the way, St. Louis, no Arenado and no Burleson. We mentioned that lineup. A little bit weakens, but they have Gorman's in there and Pedro Pajas is in there as well. So a little bit different than our projected lineup.
Who's pitching in St. Louis?
Charlie Morton.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals.
Yeah. Morton's been a little bit better of late. I don't know how long he's going to go either. I think he's been pitching at the pen as well.
2 days ago. Did he? I don't know.
No. He pitched the 17th, unless he pitched in the minors, which I don't believe he was sent down.
No.
He pitched 4 innings in the 17th. He was supposed to pitch. That's probably what you're thinking of. Like he was scheduled a few days ago and he just didn't go for whatever reason, or either he was scheduled or people assumed he was going to pitch. But yeah, he's not pitched in the majors for about 8 or 9 days or so. And 4 innings, 3 innings, 2 innings, 4 innings. Like he's not gone deep. Some of that stuff's out of the pen. If you care about won-loss records, whatever, but he's 0-7. He's got a 1.76 whip, a 7.68 ERA. All those surface numbers are really, really bad. Trevor Rogers. They called him up from the minors, and it took him long enough because he needed pitching. But I guess Rogers was pretty bad.
Shut down the Red Sox. Yeah,
I think the plan was they might need to. We talked about piggybacking the 2, and there was no need because he took care of 6 or 7 innings or so. So Morton was on ice, and if you don't have to bring in Morton, you don't want to bring in Morton. A 41-year-old Charlie Morton. They're saving him up. He's going to have his fastball up to what is he throwing his fastball these days? 89? I don't know. 88?
The Red Sox are so bad, secretly so bad.
But Chad Patrick's not good. Are you saying that?
No,
Chad
I was just
Patrick's
thinking about Trevor Rogers coming up and just shutting them down.
That's right. That was against the Red Sox, wasn't it? All right. I see a lot of guesses in the YouTube chat, by the way, for today's Movie Monday. Everybody knows at this point. Not official. Not official if it's guessed in the YouTube. If you want to win yourself a week free of RG Premium, all the sports, all the bells, all the whistles, everything with the exception of
Someone got it on 2 clues?
Did they?
I don't know. You said everybody know. Oh, you're saying.
No.
Okay.
No, it was not Heat or Shawshank or National Treasure or Inside Man.
I really like the National Treasure movies.
Do you? You say movies.
Yeah.
You've seen the second one?
Cage guy. He gets me.
They're two of my favorite movies ever. They're so good.
Oh, come on.
They're good, dude. Yeah, they're
genuinely incredible.
Have you seen movies?
Works for a movie.
Yes, they're wonderful movies.
Literally his best movie.
They're fine.
I've
The
ever
first
heard.
one's fine. Nobody saw the second one.
That's
first
not
one's
true.
I
either.
saw both of them. They're great.
The second one's just as good as the first one, if not better.
What do they
wish
find
they
the
made a
second
third.
one? The Statue of Liberty? What's the second one's gimmick? I don't know.
The
first
third
one
was supposed to be Book of Secrets, right?
There's 3?
There was
There's
supposed to be a third. It
there's
leads in.
potential developments of a third one.
Yeah, the second one was
but
so good.
not actually in
If you asked me what my favorite Nick Cage movie was, I'd say National Treasure.
That's
it's
a terrible
number 2
answer.
behind Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent for me, maybe number 1.
Your favorite Nick Cage movie would be National Treasure?
Yeah. I like movies like that.
Okay. Con Air?
You said Con Air before. I like National Treasure.
Face Off?
I don't remember Face Off. Like that's what I don't remember it.
National Treasure.
That came out when I was 5.
$500 million at the box office.
Yeah, National Treasure is good.
How much did it make at the box? Well,
$500 million at the box office.
Why are they not making a third? It's a license to print money.
There's a reason for it. I don't.
Didn't want to, I think, originally, but now they're considering it.
I feel like so, Bobby. Here's what we're doing. Next time you do a show, you're gonna tier.
We've already done this. We've already done this. Well,
I forgot. The people forgot.
Stuff. We've already done this.
You could do it differently. You could do a new ranking.
Movies than I don't know. I think National Treasure was good.
Okay, it was fine. But like to say it's like your favorite movie, it's like come on.
No, it's my favorite Nick Cage movie.
Yes. No, TJ said it was one of his favorites.
TJ supposely knows movies. I don't think so, but supposedly he knows movies and he likes it.
Kick-Ass was pretty fun. That was a pretty fun movie. I'm just going to scroll it. Lord of War is the sneaky one that nobody really talks about.
Lord of War, very good movie. I like it a lot. Very good
Nick Cage movie. Nobody talks about for whatever reason. But it's all right.
Very good movie.
Let's get back on track. Give me the
summary.
summary.
The beginning of Lord of War, how it goes with it follows like, yeah.
TJ, make a poll. Is National Treasure one of the greatest movies of all time?
I didn't say that. I said it was one of Nick Cage's
one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, you're like taking it to another level. To
you're taking the goalposts and you're moving
TJ took it to that level. You said it's one of the greatest.
No, you didn't say that. You said it grossed 500.
I love
your opinion.
I watched it as a child. It's very nostalgic.
That's the problem. Yeah, you're giving
the film.
No, it's a good.
You're giving it the nostalgia
as a kid. It's actually a good movie.
You got to let me talk if you're going to make wild claims.
You made the wild
claim. One of my favorites. It's nostalgic. I love it. It's not one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, it's one of his best movies.
Absolutely not. I still adore it though. It's one of my favorites. It's not one of the best.
So you're saying you have bad taste, and you're saying it's not one of the greatest.
I think he has bad taste in movies personally.
That's what he's saying.
I agree with this take. Backhanded compliment for TJ.
And you're giving it the nostalgia curve.
You can't just base your favorite movies off of Rotten Tomatoes scores. Each individual person has taste in different things.
Yeah, it's called having an opinion, Dean. That's why we're on the show, so we can have opinions about baseball.
Yes. And other things, which we'll be getting into soon enough. Give me the summary, Bobby. What do you got, TJ? You got something else?
It's like saying you have bad taste if you like any team except for the team with the highest implied run total tonight. They're the best. They're projected the best, so that must be the best stack tonight.
Well, we give Eric a hard time when he's like, I like the terrible team that's facing the amazing pitcher. And we're like, well, that's a bad take, but that's his opinion. Why is he not entitled to his opinion?
Yeah, but Eric does it as a bit at this point, right?
I'm not doing a bit. National Treasure to win awards. I'm not spending my hard-earned money on National Treasure to win awards.
So you're allowed to be wrong. There's no penalty.
That's why he has
some of the worst takes you've ever had, Dean.
Make the poll and see what the people say. All right, give me the summary, Bobby, as far as today's pitchers.
Well, Crochet is definitely the best. Going to garner a lot of ownership. Tyon follows behind him. I am not playing the two of those guys on the same team because I really like the Mets backs, and I just think you're getting into a very common build if you do that. So then I had Lorenzen, but we have some weather issues. I don't mind DeGrom, Clay Holmes, Hayden Birdsong. Those would be like my main five, I guess.
All right, going to open up our tiers here in a second. Let's go ahead and drop the third clue for today's Movie Monday. Third clue is orange. Theft, lock, orange. That is our third clue. Bobby, if you feel free to fire off some guesses in our secret chat.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Okay, we're not. No need to. You don't have to.
I never play this game.
Tom Jenkins says National Treasure is a great flick. Who doesn't like that movie? It's a fine movie. I wasn't besmirching. I can't imagine it's somebody's favorite.
You were besmirching. You were besmirching.
Aggressive besmirching.
But shout out to Tom.
You're wrong was something you said at one point.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Now who's moving the goalpost? Tom Jenkins, by the way, is a fabulous barbecue restaurant down here in South Florida. So I don't know if that's here in any way affiliated. But shout out to your barbecue if you are. Okay. So today's tiers, we're gonna rank throw some teams into tiers. I was watching a little bit of basketball last night. New York played Indiana. If you turned off the game, New York came back. Spoiler. Shout out to New York. So I was inspired, Bobby, to I ranked cats. Cats is what we ranked. Cats. So let me know in chat the best and worst cats.
I'm definitely not a cat guy. For sure, not a cat guy.
But what individual
you're a
cats?
Cat guy. I can see you're the definitive.
I'm not against them. Yeah, sure. Cats are great. I mean, that doesn't mean I don't like dogs.
3?
You don't have to decide. I don't know why people pin them against each other. You can like them both, right?
No, I like it's a personality type.
They're both great. They're both great, and cats are fine, and dogs are spectacular. They're both great. So
you're like a cat.
I'm like a
You
cat.
have the personality of a cat.
How so?
How so?
Yeah.
You just remind me of a cat.
You think you're always right and don't respect others' opinions, just like a cat.
Yeah. Thank you, TJ.
Yes, because that's exactly how to summarize cats. It's like a slanderous to call somebody a cat guy. I'm not anti-cat. Anyways, Tony the Tiger is the worst, which is a funny take. Tony the Tiger did not make the list. But there was a lot of considered Cat Lady, Puss in Boots, Pink Panther, Cat Dog, which is a cartoon that's half cat, half dog. Cat
Some
Dennings,
people actually
Cat Williams.
believe that they are cats.
What? Oh God! Stop.
They identify as cats.
Which is great. Good for them. I hope they're happy.
Some kid at a school at Mass. They had to get her a litter box or something.
Oh, Bobby, with your propaganda. It's
very much not a real story.
It's very much a real story. Very much.
Nope.
Rocket.
I know what you're referring to, but that was debunked and made up.
It wasn't. That isn't true. I know. There's a teacher at the school that is a friend of a friend.
Well, that sounds believable. I'm definitely convinced now. So that's not making it.
Cousin's best man's third twice removed niece.
People identify as cats, Dean. It's in.
Well,
you can identify as a cat if you want.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad I have your permission. Thank you for that, Poppy. I was thinking about it, but now that you let me you give me the go ahead, and now we're on board. So we were watching New York. So of course, Cat is what inspired Karl Anthony Towns. You've heard him called Cat before, right? Yeah. So we put him at number 1. You can see in a spectacular fourth quarter, and shout out to him. Other cats that made the board. Did you have any other cats that you want to throw out there, Bobby? Besides Cat Dennings, Cat Williams, Catwoman, Cat in the Hat. But yeah, this is our board.
Mr. Jinx is ahead of Towns.
Well, recency bias, Bobby. What did Mr. Jinx do last night? Didn't steal any bases. Yeah. So Karl Anthony Towns is in the one hole because of recency bias. Mr. Jinx, of course, from the Fockers movies. Mr. Bigglesworth. Do you know where Mr. Bigglesworth is from, Bobby?
I forget, but I know the name.
Yeah. Austin Powers. Austin Powers dog.
Yeah.
Dog, cat. Garfield's kind of worthless. Garfield doesn't do anything, just complains. Complains all day.
Complainers. I like complainers. Let's bump Garfield up.
Never really funny. One of the worst movies of Bill Murray's career, if not the worst Bill Murray movie ever, was the Garfield movie. And then Cats the movie was considered to be the worst movie of the last 10 years or something like that, give or take. Just an absolute, even worse than National Treasure, my understanding. National Treasure is fine. I'm kidding. It's just a callback. I like National Treasure, the first one. But it's just not my favorite. All right. So we got Cat. We have Mr. Jinx. We got Mr. Bigglesworth. We have Garfield. And then Cats, the movie. That is our board. We're going to throw some teams in some tiers. Let's see if we have any winners just yet. I don't think so. Clockwork Orange. No, not Pink Panther. It's funny you say that because we just mentioned Pink Panther. Reservoir Dogs, Blues Brothers. It's not Good Burger either. Home of the Good Burger. All right. All right, let's keep it going. Let's give out a fourth clue. Let's give out a fourth clue to the people. That will be TV partners. TV partners. That is the fourth clue. Do we have 50 likes for a Spidey Bomb? Do I not see one scrolling? I feel like one should be scrolling soon. Hit that like button. And about half hour or so, we have Derek Carty, CEO of the Bat and the Blitz, coming in. Get your guesses in the Discord. Get yourself a week free for RG Premium. You can just go ahead and buy it. You can do that too. That'd be cool. Now, the same price for baseball. Just like baseball, we're talking baseball a la carte the entire season. We threw in everything else for free. If you want a la carte, by all means, that's what you get. Commit to 6 months. You get football, baseball, basketball, hockey, NHL, PGA, MMA, WNBA, all the bells, all the whistles, the optimizer, the rankings, the tiers. Well, the tiers, you get that for free here. I don't know why I say tiers, but too much stuff to mention. Check out the link in the description. And if you're in like the player prop streets, if you're playing underdog, the sports book over-unders, player prop parlays, we have one, I think it's 50% off your first month. Check out the link in the description for that. Prize picks, underdog, things of that sort. And again, just for your standard sportsbook player props as well. Lars Newbar is TJ and Spidey's first Spidey Bomb plus 575. Pretty good number there leading off today. Did we get another lineup coming in? Looks like we got the Royals. We have the Royals lineup, the Brewers as well. So lineups are coming in. If you're joining us late, Kansas City might be a little dicey. Let's see if Roth changed it. Still, 3-4 hours or so until first pitch. So you're going to want to be updated on that throughout the day if you're invested. But orange, yellow is currently the status. I'll drop that in chat. You can read that at your own leisure. All right, let's throw some teams in some tiers. First game, Giants, Tigers, 8.5. Oh, Tigers, they're a cat. Montero taking on Hayden Birdsong, 8.5 is the total. Basically a coin toss here. Detroit is a slight favorite. Where do we want to throw the Giants and Detroit?
I don't really love Detroit. So just kind of thinking through it. Detroit's probably in Garfield. The Giants for me are probably in Mr. Bigglesworth.
Okay, is that the analysis?
I know I should probably give more analysis.
Give a little time.
A little bit. Yeah. Little.
Let's have nothing
time.
else.
I'm just thinking. I'm trying to. I don't know. Chapman's fine. For the Giants, I don't mind Yastrzemski. He's having a really good year. Willie Adames, he's in the 6 hole now. Is he in the 6 hole? Where is he batting currently? They moved him down in the order.
Let's see. He is in the 5 hole.
The 5 hole, yeah. Adames. That would mainly be it for me on the Giants side. Omar Flores is hitting 4th. He's been hot. What's he have, like? Oh, he has a bunch of homers, right? Like 10 homers. He had 3 in that one game.
Yeah, he had that one game that bumped him up, obviously. On the season, he's got 10. You're right. You nailed it.
Yeah, no one really. Kerry Carpenter on the Giants side. But outside of that, maybe some Riley Gray. Nothing like that stands out. So, yeah.
So
these teams.
I was thinking about Bobby, especially if you're considering Kansas City and the weather situation and all that. Can we just throw this game out? Or if you want to just start one of the pitchers, you want to start Birdsong, I guess you can. This game starts at 1:10 on the East Coast. Next game starts 2:10. How much do we need this game? You could just pass it, right?
For the bats, I think Birdsong is definitely in play. So,
yeah, I don't need Birdsong, but he's my favorite of the cheapies. I think I like him more than Lorenzen, but like we talked about the weather issue there. You said you like Lorenzen because of a ownership pivot, which I hear you. But I just don't know how much I need this game. It feels like 5-4, 4-3, maybe a homer or 2, that kind of thing. We just got Milwaukee's lineup. Crochet's pitching, the lefty, so there is no Yelich, and there's also no Turang and Frelick. So does that mean they got rid of all their lefties? Let me see. No lefties. Yeah. So it's a platoon advantage. For every hitter, there's some switch hitters in there, obviously. Daz Cameron in the 5-hole, Durbin in the 6-hole. Some possible like pinch hit stuff at some point if the situation calls for it. But it's Boston, Milwaukee, 7.5 total. Crochet taking on Chad Patrick. Where do we have the Red Sox and the Brewers? Again, no Yelich and no Frelick and no Terang for Milwaukee.
Put the Red Sox and Mr. Jenks. I don't love Navarez hitting 4th. That seems like not great.
3rd, but yeah.
3rd or wherever he is. But, like, I don't mind Abreu, Duran, Devers. Marcelo Mayer has multi-positional eligibility, so I think he's fine.
You excited about him as a Boston guy? Prospect?
Yeah, finally they called these kids up. They're just the best one they haven't brought up yet.
Anthony,
yeah.
You know my dynasty team is waiting for that. I know you're gonna ask me about it, but
Might be waiting because they don't want to pay him. So
is that what it is? Because they've encouraged these guys. Well, maybe it's too late now, but they've incentivized them to push them up early because you get rewarded with the draft pick, right? If you win Rookie of the Year, I think I can't remember how it exactly set up, but you get a draft pick. I think if one of your guys, if you win Rookie of the Year, if you call somebody up that gets Rookie of the Year, something along those lines. But
yeah,
it's probably I haven't really put much thought in the Rookie of the Year. I don't know who are the current front runners for Rookie of the Year. Is PCA officially a rookie? I know it's the National League. Did he play enough games last year? I don't know. If he's a rookie though, like qualifying as a rookie, I'm not sure. Let me know. Somebody let me know in chat.
I want to say Jacob Wilson is one of them.
Yeah, that's a good call for the Athletics. Yeah, that makes sense. He's probably the front runner in the American League. All right. Rockies, Cubs, 7.5 total. Chicago's team total did dip a little bit in the middle of the night because, again, that weather is not positive. Palmquist, bad bullpen, taking on Jamison Tyon. A 2.5 total for the Rockies. 2.5. And this is Jamison Tyon. This is this is a fine pitcher, but a 2.5 team total is outrageous. Again, I'll pull up Weather Edge. I'll see if anything changed here. Last we saw, really, really poor as far as the hitting conditions. Yeah, still 59 as far as the temp, 11 miles per hour, dead center, blowing in, 34% hit and homers in 86 previous games, and runs also taking a hit at 15%. Bobby, Cubs, Rockies. What do you got?
Yeah, I like the Cubs a good bit. I think you could put the Cubs in Mr. Jinx. Yeah, the weather's not great, but they're the Cubs, and this slate's not the greatest for stacks. Kyle Tucker, very good at the baseball stuff. Seiya Suzuki had 30 yesterday. Ian Happ, Pete Crow. Swanson in the 4-hole. I like that. Better than Navarez in the 3-hole for the Red Sox, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Rockies, you can put them in the Cats movie.
Did you see the Cats movie, Bobby?
I did not.
Yeah. I don't think
TJ, you might be subbing in real quick. We just talked about it in the chat. So
you're having all right, you gotta sneak away for a second?
I might be more than a second.
Yeah. Oh, all right. If you gotta go, man, feel free. But don't feel obligated. TJ can step in, I think. TJ, you can spin those plates.
All right, guys.
All right, Bobby. Be good?
Yeah, later.
TJ, did you have any takes as far as the cat board? I don't know if you gave any thoughts. I don't know. Did I miss anybody? Did I slander anybody? Are you a big fan of the Cats movie? Probably not. I don't think anybody was.
No, I've never seen Cats. I saw the trailer and went, this is the worst looking thing I've ever seen. This is terrifying. What do you mean this is a kid's movie? I'm genuinely terrified.
It won a lot of Razzies, I believe.
Yeah. No, it's a fine board. Fine board. I would put my cat, Shadow, number 1, but other than that, it's fine.
You're a cat guy? Oh my God. TJ, is it
I
possible?
have 2 dogs and a cat.
Well, wait a second. I'm told by the rules that you're not allowed to like both cats and dogs. How does that explain how that works? You can divvy up your.
I'm still salty at you for National Treasure. So even though I agree with you on this take, I'm not going to support you.
I like National Treasure. It's fine, but it's fine. Maybe I haven't seen it like in 20 years either, for the record, but and I have never seen the sequel, but maybe one of these days we'll track that down.
So you're gonna as good as the original is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. I'll have to watch it one of these days. Let's
Get ready on the Pick show. As soon as I win, I'm sending you National Treasure.
Oh boy, the sequel or the original?
Maybe the sequel.
All right. St. Louis. Is there anything you want to manipulate this board? It's your board now, TJ. You want to change anything?
Maybe it should be. Let's rotate and have you pick then me pick, because I don't want to give too many takes since I'm on for 45 for an hour of crunch time anyways.
Yeah.
So maybe it should be your board.
So when you are on the weekends, you have two other people to bounce it off of. So like you have two different opinions. I'm always here with just one other person, so I just have to yield. You know what I mean? And you've modified, you've changed the rules of the game, which is fine. The game is it's evolving. I guess you evolve the game on the weekend, but I still that Detroit emblem gets me every single time. Like I think it's there. It's definitely there.
The black on black makes it tough to see.
I personally am not playing Chicago a lot. So, I mean, again, I understand why you're playing him. I understand Palmquist is probably not Major League ready.
I would bump him down too, actually.
Okay. Throw him in there at Mr. Bigglesworth. Milwaukee's kind of where they're at, and I'm okay with that. I think this board is pretty correct. I probably would have Boston in the middle as well, but is a mini like Duran and Devers, and you can get some cheap stuff as well. Mayer is pretty cheap still. But I think I'm fine with where it's at right now, unless you want to make any dramatic changes.
For him too.
Say it again?
Abreu's cheap for him too.
Yeah, I think Abreu's fine. St. Louis and Baltimore, 9 total. Do we get any new lineups coming in? I don't think so. I bet Baltimore's waiting on Rushman. My assumption is he doesn't play. I'm assuming we're currently projecting him to play, but I don't think he plays today. But I don't make that decision. Eric Fetty taking on Charlie Morton. We did get the cards lineup. Lars Newt Bar. I can't do it quite like Roth. Somebody in chat asked me to do it, but he was your Spidey Bomb. By the way, speaking of, we should drop that 5th clue, right? We have no winners just yet, TJ? No winners just yet. It's not Pineapple Express or Mr. Deeds or Home Alone. Maybe the 5th clue will change things. The 5th clue is cat. Cat is the 5th clue. So how about that? It's almost like it's a theme of the show. Theft, lock, orange, TV partners, cat. We will have bonus clues if necessary. But that is our 5 clues. Get into Discord, RotoGrinders.com/Discord live stream chat channel, and let me know what movie I am talking about. All right. St. Louis, Baltimore, where are you at?
Baltimore, I think, is going to be a Karl Anthony Towns team for me. Yes, they've been terrible and disappointing, and I'm just going to keep playing them and probably losing money. But Baltimore is just so cheap. You can full stack Baltimore with your DeGrom and Crochet pitching combo. Gunnar Henderson is $4,300. He should be closer to $6K than $4K. You talked a little bit earlier about how he has kind of not been struggled a little bit this year. His ISO and his WOBA against righties are better than they were last year. We're just waiting for the offensive explosion to come. The peripherals are there to make it happen. I love the Orioles today. St. Louis, I will drop in tier 2 just because even though I really like targeting Charlie Morton, I never really know how to play on know who to play on St. Louis outside of Newt Bar. We could potentially see some pinch hit shenanigans today with them. So I like the mini stack more than the full stack, but because the spot's so good, I like the full stack is great as well.
Yeah, we said no Arenado's in the bench, and somebody else that's somewhat important is hanging around on the bench. Gorman. No, Gorman's in there. Donovan. No, he's in. Who's the guy that there's somebody else we expected to play for St. Louis? It's not starting, but Arenado's the guy that can come up in a pinch as well. You have I like them both at least in Mr. Jenks. Burleson, yes. I thought Burleson was going to hit the lineup, but I liked him pretty good today. Sort of surprising he's not playing, but he's out there lurking. Surprised he didn't start. I'm not going to disagree here. I like Baltimore. I like St. Louis. They're both two of my favorite teams on the slate. So yeah, I'm not going to move them. I'm good where you have them. Toronto and Texas. DeGrom, Gausman, pitchers duel expected here, 7 total. DeGrom's look better of late. Swinging strike rate, biggest number on the board, bigger than Crochet as well, 15%. Kind of talked about this with him. DeGrom sort of owed some Ks. Generally speaking, if you have a 15% swinging strike rate, your K is going to be over 30%. Swinging strike rate is tend to be, I don't know the official number, but like 2.1x, 2.2x. Your Ks are 2.1 of your swinging strike rate, and his Ks are 27.7%. So kind of unlucky at 27.7%. Crochet at 29% leading the slate. I am not going to be rostering much offense in this game. What say you?
I feel the exact same way. I actually X'd out both of these teams today. I'm not playing any Toronto or any Texas.
We got a winner, by the way. You were telling me that nobody's even heard of this movie. Well, at least one person has heard of this movie. Maybe it's their favorite movie. Who knows? But shout out to Big Z in the Discord taking down today's Movie Monday. We'll talk about it soon enough. It fit with today's theme. We have 2 more games. Crunch time coming in. What are they? 12:10, 12:15? What time is Crunch time knocking on? Crunch time is just Carty. That's it, right? You're gonna. Oh yeah, Roth, of course. Yeah, that's right. I wasn't sure if Roth was going to be on for some reason, but yeah, we got Carty and we have Roth coming down in about 15 minutes or so, give or take. So we might have actually some time for some questions if necessary, if time allows. Let's see. Roth, I wanted to read what Roth wrote about the Cubs. Cold winds blowing in about 10 miles per hour, great pitching weather. I'm also somewhat partial to under bets, pitching props, no home run bets for the entire game, etc. All assuming the odds are decent, of course. So, yeah. I was thinking that too. Like, if I wasn't on the expert survey today, but I was thinking like the Cubs can score 10 runs and hit no homers, and you don't really need anybody, right? Like it could be just a collection of hits and walks.
Because of their price, right? That's like I was originally looking at them and thinking like, hey, well, it's the Cubs. Even though it's bad weather, I still have to play the Cubs in a good matchup, great matchup. But they're so expensive that it's like Tucker could hit a home run and not be optimal. Pete Crow Armstrong, if he doesn't hit a home run or steal 3 bases, he probably won't be. Suzuki, same thing. Like, I don't really know how necessary these guys actually are.
Yeah. I mean, for large field tournaments, of course, and like the 2 best hitters are left on left as well. Not that I think that matters a ton, but, PCA dating back to last season, and, obviously he's changed. He's improved this year from last year. But he was bad versus lefties. He was very bad versus lefties. Didn't walk at all. 0.7% walk rate, 27% K rate, 268 WOBA's bad, and a 141 ISO. Let me see it this year, just this year. Do you have a big enough sample to even note it? 50 at bats, 250 ISO. Still no walks. But this is why I was talking about. I was saying this before. Like, I don't believe PCA can totally keep this up because he just doesn't walk. 0% walk rate. Like that's, at 32% Ks. That's not the combination. 32% strikeouts and 0% walk rate. That's not the combination of a player I want. Now, when he hits it, he's awesome. It's great. But just, he strikes out so much and just never, and especially with those wheels, man, take a base. Get yourself a walk. All right. Chicago, the White Sox playing the Mets. Adrian Hauser, Clay Holmes, 8.5 total. The Mets getting most of this. A 5.5 total, biggest total on the board. Tough ballpark, obviously, still. Big boy number when it comes to their team total because Hauser, not good. That bullpen also shaky behind him. Where do we have the Mets and the White Sox?
I think this is your turn, Dean. Your board. Where do you got the Mets and the White Sox?
I mean, the best thing you can say about the White Sox is they're cheap, right? That's like the best thing you can say. Is there anything there's Detroit and Garfield, right? I don't really want to play them. I mean, if anything, if I'm being kind, I'm throwing them in Garfield. but I'm probably just throwing him in cats. And
Yeah.
the Mets, I saw somebody talking about Soto being cold. Like Soto's, I would just play Soto. I think he's going to be fine. There is some cheap Mets. Beatty's coming out a little bit as well. Tyrone Taylor's got some power. We don't know the lineup just yet officially. Vientos is probably like the best price plus talent. We're assuming he's batting second. That's not certain just yet. Just got the Reds, by the way. So we at least have lineups for Reds in Kansas City. Are they going to play? Well, no. Well, we don't know right now. Maybe we know in 4 hours or so. You want to put them in cat, huh? Karl Anthony Towns. I kind of want to put him in Mr. Jinx, but I'm not going to fight about it. I'm just trying to.
Teams like they're the top stack. It's just really about dependent on ownership, but
yeah,
I don't want to there's so many teams I just don't want to play.
Yes. The Mets they're definitely a team I want to play. And I'm perfectly fine attacking Adrian Hauser. I'm good with that. Last season, a lot of power yielded versus lefties. So this could be a get off the schneid game for Juan Soto. Love Mr. Smile, Francisco Lindor as well. Probably a pivot off of Gunnar, right? I assume Gunnar's going to get more just because the price, right? Is that fair to say? Let's see what we have as far as ownership. I know the Mets are the more popular stack. I think they are at least. But who's going to be more popular specific to shortstop? We got it basically the same. Lindor and Henderson both around 17, 18%. Witt, by the way, 12%, the lowest amongst those three. And that's kind of where I would have it too. And De La Cruz even lower at 6%. And I don't think that factors in the diciness of the game as far as weather. It's just other factors involved. Might even be lower than that. Yeah, I'm not going to fight. If you want to throw him in one, I was going to put him 1 or 2. But, yeah, I'm pretty good with that. Let's talk about this last game.
Mighty Bomb scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I just added them to the scroll since we finished Movie Monday. And I added a second one as well for 75 likes. I'll do a third one at 100 likes. We got Lars Nootbaar plus 575 for the first. Mark Vientos at plus 500 for the second. I like trying to slide them in there as we're talking about the person. Anytime they come up organically, that's when I try and slide them in.
Was he on the list? He was on the list, right?
Yeah.
Vientos? Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sort of worked out that way.
Yeah, I had Vientos as the next guy I was going to put in, and then I just kind of waited until we started talking about the Mets.
Who is John Rave? Is that a person that's not in the player pool? Apparently, he allegedly plays baseball. He plays baseball for the Kansas City Royals. John Rave, 27 years old. Is this somebody making their major league debut today? Got the Royals lineup. It's Nick Martinez taking on Michael Lorenzen. Again, Ross coming on will give you some clarity as far as some weather. This is 4 hours away, so things can change. Roth basically said, look, it's gonna be ugly. They might play through it. They'll get soaked if they play through it. Yeah, Mark is saying that this Caglianone is crushing in the minors for Kansas City. That might be them being cheap. I don't really know as far as saving a year of control. I don't know what's going on there, but I saw he was recently promoted to AAA, and he's just crushing in AAA as well. But they called up John Rave, and good for him. Man, we talk about how bad this Kansas City lineup is. It's so it's Witt, and I guess Vinny P, Pasquatch, Sal Perez. India is a horrible player for DFS. He doesn't do anything that's useful. It is a revenge game, so maybe you think he can get a revenge double, possibly. Maybe a revenge double for Jonathan India against his former squad. Nick Martinez, Michael Lorenzen, 8 total. KC is the slight favorite here. Where are we going as far as the board with the Royals and the Reds?
Cats? The movie?
Yeah.
With the weather the way it is, and us not knowing about that till a little bit later. Again, Roth is going to come in. I don't like either of these teams. If it was in Cincinnati, I think I would like it more, but I'm not playing either of them.
Aren't you supposed to lean into, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but aren't you? the book says, let's say that the DFS book for baseball with the variants of baseball, aren't you supposed to lean in on these teams when lean in on uncertainty, because that's what everybody's doing. Nobody wants to. Well, I don't want to wait. I got plans. I got a barbecue. Whatever it is. It's Memorial Day. I don't want to sit around waiting to see if there's a tarp on the field in Kauffman Stadium. So, and also there's De La Cruz, there's Witt, which are fabulous pivots at shortstop. They're going to be much less owned, I think, than Gunnar and Lindor. But I also agree with you. If you're running like 150 in the 50,000, the bingo, 50,000 different entries.
Is not in the lineup.
Oh boy. Oh, what are we looking at as far as the
Lindor,
Mets?
Nimmo, Soto, Alonso, Young, Beatty, Taylor, McNeil, Alvarez. So the
Nimmo's in.
Jared Young is batting 5th, but you can't play Young and Alonso together on DraftKings because they're both first base.
So Jared Young, 29 years old, played in the KBO in 2024. 10 homers, 4 stolen bases. He's not. I wasn't trying to make a joke, but he's not young. I was thinking he might be a prospect. He is, but he isn't, right? Used to play for the Cubs a little bit. Cup of coffee there for the Cubs in 2022, 2023. Almost 30. He's a couple months away from being 30 years old. Doesn't look terribly exciting, but he's playing baseball for the Mets today. He's got a little bit of power. Yeah. I'll be excited about that. Probably not, but maybe he helps make your stacks work. Is he 2K or basically 2K?
2.3K. I just made a substitute Spidey Bomb, switched it to Pete Alonso from Mark Vientos since he is not in the lineup. Jeez. That makes these guys tougher to stack.
Yeah, well, then you're looking at Young, I suppose. And Nemo he was dealing with a neck, so he was out for a couple of days. I guess he pinch hit in the 23rd, looks like. But either that or he was pulled from the game. I don't recall what the scenario was. He had 1 at bats. By the way, not good. Nemo's been a little rough this year. He's banged out 8 homers. But besides that, it's been a pretty rough season for him. But he is in. Therefore, like you said, Vientos is out. Anything else of note as far as the board? Shall we change anything? We don't really love a lot of these offenses, it appears. We have 5 of the 14 in the gutter collectively. Let's do the recap. If you guys are just joining us now, we did I did, I guess. I tiered up Cats. Karl Anthony Towns is in the 1 hole. Mr. Jinxie in the 2 hole. Don't swap him out either, TJ. I'll know the difference. Mr. Bigglesworth in the 3 hole. Garfield in the 4, and Cats the movie. All the way up top of the 1, it's Baltimore and the Mets. Mr. Jinx has the Red Sox and the Cardinals right in the middle. Bigglesworth has the Giants, the Cubbies. Garfield and his lasagna just by himself with Detroit. And that's it. 5 teams in the gutter hanging out with the cast of Cats, Milwaukee, Colorado, your Blue Jays, Texas Rangers, and Chicago White Sox. As always, it seems like at least, in the 5 hole. Recap as far as the homers, we got Newt Bar and Pete Alonso. And we have at least one more on layaway, I assume. Yes.
Oh yeah, we got lots more.
All right. Well, let's run down
125 likes, 150 likes. We'll just keep them on coming.
So I wanted to stick with the theme as far as Movie Monday. Big Z was the winner, gets a week free of RG Premium. So here are the clues. It was Theft, Locked, Orange, TV Partners, and Cat. Theft, if you recall, I say if you recall, but most people probably haven't seen this movie. So I was a little bit concerned to nobody's seen it, but I figure somebody's seen it. At the beginning of the movie, a cat was stolen. A cat is stolen. There's a theft of a cat. Lock and key. Orange peel, right? So you have a cat. Well, you have a theft of a cat. You don't know the cat part yet. But lock and orange, which is a key and a peel. TV Partners, of course, key and peel. And clue number 5 was cat. My next clue was going to be, if I needed it, John Wick. I feel like John Wick would have got us there. I think, maybe, not sure. But that was the next clue, if necessary. But it was not necessary. So there you go. Shout out to Big Z for getting a week free of RG Premium. Thanks for playing. Crunch time coming on in a few minutes. I can't see the bullpen, the green room. Is anybody lurking, or we're still killing some time here, TJ?
No Carty yet, but we got Roth lurking.
Does Roth want to pop on and say hello as we seamlessly segue? There's Roth. What's going on, Roth?
I'm already here, Roth, so that means you gotta be too.
I'm ready to rock. What's this hat behind you, Dean? I missed the early part of the show. It's pretty cool.
I restarted my computer, something you do every single day, because I know the producers are always telling you, you got to restart your computer and keep things up. So when I restart everything and kill my history and all that, I have to put new stuff back into the Zoom room, the StreamYard room, and it didn't have my RG picture saved. So I was scrambling to find my RG picture, and I couldn't find it pre-show. And I said, well, screw it. It's either Larry David or we're going to go ahead and put up the picture of the Jacksonville Honey Drippers. That is a Jacksonville Honey Dripper hat. They're the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Honey Dripper?
So you should know this. Did you live in the general vicinity of or close to Jacksonville in some capacity?
I lived in Florida. Does that count? Sure.
It's a big state, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently there's a local drink in Jacksonville called a Honey Dripper. That's pretty popular. And as an homage, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp changed their team name and rebranded for a couple weeks to the Jacksonville Honey Drippers. And I thought this hat was spectacular. I think I actually sent it to Stevie, and I still have this picture. And I'm like, oh, we'll just we'll just have the Honey Drippers as the backdrop for today. That's the backstory as to how it wasn't really planned. I just needed a picture, and
cool
there
hat.
you go.
Yeah, we got to get Stevie to literally own that actually physically, not just as a picture.
Yeah, it is a pretty spectacular hat for sure. Are we doing any barbecuing today and any fish fry, Roth? Any plans today?
Yeah, all of the above. And we have a later crunch time. Pool party starts at 1 o'clock. I think the later crunch time is at 5 Central, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
The chances of me being even remotely sober for that are very low. So
that's the tease. I wasn't going to tune in, but now I am.
I have zero desire to be anything but very drunk for that. So just giving the people a heads up. That's what's going to happen at about 5 o'clock.
And it's your day. This is the day where you have your hall pass. It's Monday.
Monday's my drinking day. Yep, Monday's my drinking day. It's a holiday. I'm already doing 2 shows. I feel like I can be sober for one, drunk for the next. That's pretty good. No one's going to get mad at you for that. And
the Royals in Kansas City is already going to be locked and loaded at 4 o'clock. That's the dicey one, Roth, because 4:10, it's 4 hours before lock right now. And you basically laid out in the article, you're like, I know what's coming. They know what's coming. Probably a big crowd on Memorial Day. You always get big crowds on Memorial Day. So do they want the crowd to get soaked? Do they want to cancel the game? Can they play through it? And this is where, your expertise is great, but you don't make that call. It's right. That's not your decision.
And it's almost fully just what are they going to do? So I assume leading up to it, we'll have a pretty good idea because they could cancel it early. They could cancel it in a couple hours and let us know, or we could wait. And if they're warming up, all right, I guess they're just going to do it. So we shall see.
So if we see them warming up and there's no tarp and they're just is it going to start raining 3:30? It's 4 o'clock local time. Is it going to start raining essentially at first pitch, before first pitch, and it's just going to be at the same pace essentially, or
kind of? It might, and this is what's a little frustrating, is it might just barely start dry and then start raining, but 90% of the game is going to be wet. So that would be upsetting if they just start it knowing it's going to rain and then it rains and they're like, oh, we got 1 inning in and now we're done.
If they delay, that's it. That's a big red flag. If
they delay, you're not drying out till 9 p.m. Not, if they delay, I think you're in big trouble. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know.
What game is this?
Kansas City.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's in 4 hours, Carty. So there's Derek Carty, CEO of Bat Blitz. What's up, Carty? How are things? Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day. We got some day baseball. Things are good.
Yeah. It's a tough decision as far as Kansas City. Well, I think, you guys will talk about it. TJ is going to talk about it with you in a second, but I'm kind of ignoring that game and just hoping no big outliers. I don't feel like I needed their pitcher. Hopefully neither offense does anything. If it gets washed out, so be it. And you have pivots. There's other games going off at 4 o'clock. Just plan ahead. If you need a 2v2 or a 3v3, don't just play Lorenzen and nothing else, because then you're going to be scrambling and probably playing Adrian Hauser. Unless you have a bunch of salary left over, just have a plan. Have a plan if you're doing things of that sort. But TJ, is there anything else you need me for? I feel like I probably step aside and make way for crunch time.
You're all good to go, my friend. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy
your Monday, everybody. All right, Roth, take it away.
Later, bud. All right, welcome to it. You all know the drill. It's crunch time. It's two of the sharpest minds in the biz. Going to take you up to lock, probably. We might take you through lock. We'll talk lunch plans. We'll talk grilling plans. We will most certainly talk baseball plans as well, because that is what Derek Carty, the CEO, CFO, and CTO of the Bat and the BatX Enterprises is all about. Throw up the X. What up, Carty? How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Good to see you.
Do you consider the Bat a company where you are CEO of it, or it's just a product? What do you consider it? I feel it's an enterprise.
Yeah, I have a company that I guess technically owns it, so
okay,
it's accurate enough. It's accurate. I like
it's more fun to call you the CEO, CFO, and CTO.
Fun. Yeah, no, it works.
Well, we're going to need your thoughts here on some of the bats, some of the pitchers as well. We've got my guy TJ in the house hanging out with us. Memorial Day, not a thing in Canada. I don't think it is. No.
Just a regular old Monday for me, but actually do have my wife home from work today because she had an eye appointment this morning where she had to get her eyes all dilated, so she can't quite see straight. So no teaching for her today, so we get to hang out in the afternoon between shows, and I'm always a big fan of Sunday baseball, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, we do have.
I'll be back with you later for the second show on camera.
You're going to be there too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me, you, and who for the
Eric Blindfor, I believe.
Okay, very good. Well, I feel like you may be the only sober one on that show, and that's up to your discretion. You don't have to be, but I'm just giving you a heads up.
Dean forgot to ask because we had some big arguments on the last show. He wants to know everybody's favorite Nick Cage movie.
Gone in 60 Seconds is probably mine.
I mean, how do you pick one? Like, he's just all over the map, and they're so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to say National Treasure. I just love National Treasure.
I've never seen it.
This is what the big argument was about. I called National Treasure my second favorite Nick Cage movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, because I loved it as a child, still love it as an adult. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, people in chat, The Rock, Con Air.
The Rock is so good.
Is really good.
And now I'm thinking of Face Off. I freaking love Face Off. I'm going to take his face off.
Did you know that Nick Cage loved doing National Treasure so much that he bought a plot in a New Orleans cemetery and made a tomb for himself for when he dies. That's like a pyramid, like kind of like a allusion to National Treasure. It's pretty cool.
Okay. That guy is kind of awesome. And now that people are throwing in more and more movies, I'm like, he does have some.
If you guys haven't seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, prioritize that for the next.
I've been wanting to see that so bad. I just haven't had any time.
Yeah.
Putting it in my phone, putting it on my movie list.
That eclipses National Treasure for me. He's playing a exaggerated satirical version of himself, and it's incredible.
Embarrassing Weight of Unimaginable Talent or something of the sort.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Okay. All right. That's a hilarious name for a movie.
Okay. Kevin in chat saying, give the people the third Spidey bomb. Are we at 100 likes? Did we do it? Let me see. We are at 110. We are already getting close to the fourth Spidey bomb. Give me 1 second to check some odds, and then I got you guys.
Okay, very good. Well, let's start things off with a weather report. There are 2 spots that I think matter, maybe 2.5. First is in Chicago. I love the pitching there. Someone tweeted me that the Colorado pitcher is just the biggest jabroni in human history. And that's unfortunate because I want to play both pitchers there. But Carty, how bad is this dude?
I don't think he's as bad as everyone thinks. Honestly, so he projects straight up as the second worst pitcher on the slate, but he also projects as the second best point per dollar guy. He's been terrible so far, but a lot of that is because he's on the Rockies. He plays in Coors Field. You look at his like his underlying stuff, like his minor league stuff is okay. His stuff plus actually makes him look good. Like there's more upside to him than I think people realize, especially
in this weather.
In this weather, yeah. And for how cheap he is.
Yeah.
I don't mind having some of him in your pool.
Okay, very good. Well, I do love pitchers in that game. You know, it's course. Sorry, it's Wrigley. We know the winds matter. Winds blowing in at over 10 miles per hour there, and it's cold. Temperatures are in the 50s. So that is my favorite spot for pitchers. And then we'll briefly touch upon Kansas City again. I mentioned rain should start around first pitch, and then it continues for 6 hours. I don't know what they want to do about that. It is lightish rain, but if you're in it for an hour, I don't know if you can just play through it. And if you do, you're going to be freaking miserable. It's terrible. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what I would do if I were them either. So they're in a tough spot. So I don't know if that game's going to play. And if you do plan on playing people in that game, make sure that you have some ability to pivot. There's another game that starts right around the same time. So make sure you've got some sort of 2v2, 3v3 setup, as Dean mentioned. And then last but not least, I think we got a game in Tampa, and it's warm in Tampa. Winds are kind of blowing out a little bit. So I like that spot a decent amount for bets. And that's it. That's my whole weather spiel. With that out of the way, we can get TJ's third Spidey Bomb. TJ, what do you got?
We did have to take one away because Mark Vientos is not in the lineup for the Mets today. So we
need two. You need to replace that one.
No, we did that before you guys got here, Ross. Don't worry. Don't worry. I already did it. I already did it. I was just giving a recap.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
No more Mark Vientos. Get him out of your lineups. But we do have Lars Nootbaar, Roth Guy, number 1, Pete Alonso, number 2, and then number 3, Gunnar Henderson at plus 500. He's my favorite bat on the slate for DFS, and I got him to hit a home run today as well.
Okay, good stuff. Let's get into the pitcher talk. Carty gave me a little sneak peek. I got a little hint. Let's go to TJ for a general overview, and then we'll get back to Carty's full thoughts here, DK and FanDuel, what we're doing pitcher-wise. But TJ, you lead us off.
We have enough cheap bats on the slate that as much as I possibly can, I'm going to play Garrett Crochet and Jacob deGrom together. I'm going to play both of these top 5 pitchers in baseball and just hope that they're both lights out today. So they're my 2 favorites. I have 60% Crochet, 60% deGrom. Going to have one of them in probably every single lineup. My next favorite option is going to be Clay Holmes. Great matchup for him going up against the White Sox. And then Jameson Taillon, who I'm going to have about half what the rest of the field has. My thing with him today is I'm sure just, because of the weather, it's probably going to limit his home runs, and he probably doesn't and it's the Rockies, so he's probably going to have a pretty good game, which is why I still have some of him in my pool. But I just think with so many other good pitchers on the slate, he sucks. Like Jameson Taillon's not good.
Suck. He's a league average pitcher.
At best, a league average pitcher.
No.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Average. He's I'm saying at best average. He kind of sucks. On the slate of today's slate, he kind of sucks because we have
he's no Crochet.
Kevin Gausman, even Clay Holmes. And so I'm going to play a lot of Gausman. I'm going to play more Gausman than Taillon, more Holmes than Taillon, and just hope that he goes 6 innings with 4 strikeouts and these other guys have 8 or 9. Yeah, it's kind of how I'm looking at it today. So it's Crochet 1 for me, deGrom 2, Holmes 3, Gausman 4, Taillon 5, and then the 2 cheap options I'm mixing in today are Chad Patrick and Hayden Birdsong.
Okay, I feel like there was some hate on Birdsong last time he pitched, but then he actually did pretty good. Is that accurate? Can we pull up that game log here, or am I making shit up? I do that sometimes.
He was good against Kansas City. I don't know who the hate came from. I always do kind of like Birdsong.
Okay. I always like the name. Great name. Okay, on FanDuel, you only get 1 pitcher. I assume it's one of Crochet or deGrom for you, TJ?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You don't care? You don't have a strong take there?
From like a cash game perspective, which I guess that's more Carty's bag, but there is no FanDuel's like main slate for early.
Come again?
There is no FanDuel slate. Like,
all right.
But
so we're just talking DraftKings.
If you're playing the tiny 4-game no prize pool one on FanDuel in cash, like it's Crochet. I would probably play 100% Crochet on FanDuel in this, even if I was playing 150 lineups. Maybe a little cheap Birdsong, but like yeah, it's almost not even a slate over there.
Okay. It's Me Breezy says Roth is prepared. He's going to ask for your fantasy draft starters next. All right. Okay. I didn't know. All right. Good note. We will focus on DraftKings here. Carty, as you look at DK, 2 pitchers, where are we headed? What are your thoughts?
I like Tyone more than TJ does, I guess. I don't think he's bad. I think he's league average, and I think he's facing the Rockies, and he's facing them in Chicago with that weather. So the bat has him projected almost as well as Crochet today, has him projected above DeGrom. He's quite a bit cheaper than both of them. He will be popular. So like there are certainly game theory reasons to not play him in tournaments, but in cash, I think Tyone's a lock. And then I think you play him with Crochet. I do love DeGrom. They finally gave him a leash last outing, went over 100 pitches, which is nice to see. Worries me a little if they'll let him do that back to back. Like this could potentially be a let's scale him back spot just to, make sure he stays healthy and he throws 80 pitches. Like that's on the table here, regardless of how well he's pitching. But DeGrom is DeGrom. He's amazing. So I do like him. I like the Holmes call. I like Gaussman. I like Birdsong. I like Chad Patrick. I think those are kind of that next tier of guys that are not going to be as popular, but are solid enough in terms of upside, solid enough in terms of price, solid enough in terms of ownership. And then again, I don't mind a little bit of Carson Palmquist.
Okay. 5K. That's nice. You can do a lot. You can do a lot. You get a little Palmquist in there. Let's talk about some of the bats and some of the stacks. Carty, you can lead us off in that department. I'm guessing we're going against Palmquist. Maybe not because of the weather. You tell me.
Yeah. I mean, the Cubs don't project especially well. They're really expensive. I don't think you really need Cubs today.
Okay. What do you like?
I like the Baltimore-St. Louis game the most, both sides of it, both teams, Baltimore especially at their prices. They've been struggling this year. People don't think they're good, whatever, half a month or a month and a half, small sample size. Like there's still plenty of talent in that lineup. The matchup today is good. I like Baltimore and St. Louis a lot. After them, I think it's a mix of like, I don't know, 6 or 7 teams that are all pretty comparable that I think you can definitely just kind of mix and match. Boston, Texas, Giants, Royals, if you're doing that game. So yeah, and a small handful of others.
Okay, good stuff. TJ, some of your favorites to stack up. You're double spending up at pitcher, it sounds like. You got to find some money somewhere, but what's your game plan?
Yeah, I'm keeping a pretty tight pool of stacks on this slate. I'm only playing. I have 150 lineups, and I'm only stacking 7 teams. And so it's the Mets #1 for me, but the Mets, Red Sox, and Cardinals, I think are kind of my tier 1. With Baltimore maybe along inside of them as well. I'm not getting as many Baltimore stacks as I thought I would. But I still do like them quite a bit. San Francisco and Detroit, that first game, I think both of those offenses are interesting. They're going to be low owned, and they kind of just have like good boom bust potential in this spot. Like they're not in great spots, but they could absolutely be the highest scoring team on a small slate. And then I do have some Cubs as well, but I'm going to be underweight. I am 100% on the same page with Carty there that like if it were just the weather in a great matchup, yeah, it's cool. I'd still play the Cubs, whatever. But they're just so expensive. And when there's this many really good pitchers on the slate, I can't find myself prioritizing their crazy prices.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, shout out to Go Collect, who says, hey, fellas, thank you for taking some time out of your holiday to talk shop today. Happy to do it. It's actually, generally get a lot of viewers on a holiday like today. Sometimes you get bigger prize pools, so we're happy to help walk you through it. Let's go around the horn. How does that sound? Start with some catcher talk. TJ, what are your favorites there?
Yeah, not an overly strong catcher position today. You have Carlos Narvaez, who's batting 3rd for Boston for some odd reason. So I guess he would be my favorite play. If you can spend up to Ivan Herrera, great, but this dude's $5,700, and I don't really know why. He's good, but not $5,700 good. We do not have a Baltimore lineup yet, and although we are... Oh, did that just come? No, that's Rangers. We don't have a Baltimore lineup yet, and I think the reason for it is probably because Adley Rutschman got hurt yesterday. And so we're projecting Rutschman as, the second most optimal. He's going to have 15+% ownership, but I don't actually think he's going to be in the lineup today. I'm fading that Kansas City game just because of the potential weather issues, but in general, I do like Salvador Perez because he's about $1,000 too cheap as well. But for me, basically, it's just whoever is in a stack today. I think you play Narvaez in cash, and then literally just whoever the catcher for your stack is.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Carty, your thoughts on catcher?
I agree. If Rutschman's in there, he's fantastic, but I am skeptical if he's going to be, especially with how late the lineup is. Love Herrera, but he's expensive. The cheaper guys that I would like, I like Salvi a lot, but that's in that rain game. So you're probably looking at, like TJ said, like Carlos Narvaez, maybe Francisco Alvarez, Alejandro Kirk even, Pedro Pajes. Like, it's just play a catcher in your stack or one off like Herrera, basically. Honestly, and William Contreras too. In tournaments, I think William Contreras is a really good play with leverage off of Crochet.
It's Me Breezy says Sanchez 2,200.
I mean, Sanchez. What Sanchez is even on this slate?
I don't know.
Am I missing someone?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just
I
reading
don't know
what's
who
in
he's
the chat,
referring
man.
to either.
I just read what's on the
Gary
teleprompter.
Sanchez is $2,200, and I think he's assuming if you were to start at catcher for Rutschman, but I think it's Handley that they've been playing as their backup catcher right now, not Gary Sanchez. Yeah, and Dean's saying in chat Sanchez is hurt. So it would not be Sanchez. It'll be Handley if who's starting if Rutschman is out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if he's really cheap,
He's
too,
2K. Maverick Handley's 2K.
Yeah, so he could be viable then if Adley's out.
Yeah. All right. Go to first base, Carty.
You have the expensive guys, but neither's I don't think either's great today. You have Alonso and you have Vlad. They're both fine, but I don't think I want to pay the extra for them. I think I'd rather go down to like the 3 to 4K range where there's just a ton of options that are all viable, all similar. I mentioned liking the St. Louis Baltimore game. So Contreras and O'Hearn are probably my favorites here. Mountcastle, if he's in the lineup, going to be viable too. But then you just have a bunch of guys in the 3K range that all kind of have similar prices, similar projections, similar upside. They all can go deep. None of them are like monster power hitters, but we have Berger, Vargas, Steer, Pasquantino, and then he's been terrible this year, but you can just go all the way down and punt this with Lamont Wade for 2.1K. I don't think that's a terrible decision. It's a big park upgrade facing one of the weaker pitchers on the slate. Platoon advantage. He's 2.1K. Given that this position's kind of just I don't mind doing that.
Yeah. Okay. TJ, first base, please.
Yeah, Ryan O'Hearn, probably my favorite guy here at first base today. And then outside of him, it's the two Mets players. You have $2,300, this young character who played in the KBO last year, who's batting 5th for them. And then you have Pete Alonso if you can get up and pay for him. So those, like the Mets and Ryan O'Hearn, are going to be my 3 favorites. Throw in some Ryan Mountcastle if he's in the lineup. And basically just 2 Orioles and 2 Mets are the guys that I want to go with today. Outside of that, it's mostly going to be only in the stacks for me. I'll play some Toro only in my Boston lineups. I don't think I'm going to go to him on his own, even though he's super cheap. It's young Alonso, Mountcastle, and Toro for me, and then I'm getting to a lot of Wilson Contreras as well. Spencer Torkelson in large field stuff I like.
Yeah. Okay. How about second base?
Second base, we have Jackson Holiday as my top guy by a fairly wide margin. I have 30% Jackson Holiday today, and nobody else above 20. Outside of that, it's going to be mostly in stack. Jeff McNeil, Nolan Gorman, Christian Campbell, Brendan Donovan, but that's about it.
Is Holiday cheap?
He's getting more expensive, but he's still
Cheaper
pretty
than it should be.
Okay. All right. Carty, second base.
Yeah, Holiday's the top projected guy on the slate, and he's cheaper than he should be. He's still 4.1K. He's your guy. Nolan Gorman on the other side of the game I like a lot for 3-3. Donovan is okay, a little more expensive than I want to pay for in that same lineup, so I probably just prefer Gorman. And then after that, it's kind of gross. There's not a whole lot else I really like here. Jonathan India, if you're risking the rain at all there, I think is very well priced. Otherwise, I mean, there's really not much.
Yeah. All right. Take me to third base. Go Collect in the chat says Mets are going to fit really nicely with cheap first and third baseman. Do you have interest in a cheap third baseman for the Mets?
I mean, you have Brett Beatty, who's 3.1K. He's fine. I mean, the matchup is okay against Hauser, but I don't think Beatty's like anything special.
Yeah, just fine in the stack.
Yeah, I mean, in a stack, yeah. Otherwise, though, you have plenty of other guys around the same price point that are the same or probably better. Like you have Miguel Vargas, you have Nolan Gorman again, you have Josh Young, you have Ramon Urias, assuming he's in there for Baltimore. You have the Baltimore or the Boston guys. You have Toro. You have Marcelo Mayer now. There's just a lot of those like 3K cheap guys. I don't think Beatty's any better than any of them. I do think if you're spending up, you want to get up to Devers or Chapman. I think they're both really good today. Mm-hmm. It's kind of just a matter of which you want to take.
Yeah. Okay. TJ, your thoughts at third?
Beatty is the guy that I'm getting to the most, but Devers is definitely my favorite here. Chapman, number 3, and then outside of that, it's still just more guys only in stack. Ramon Urias is nice and cheap. Nolan Gorman, Toro, and Meyer. But yeah, it's Beatty and Devers is the clear 1 and 2 for me.
Okay. That brings us to shortstop.
Gunnar Henderson is $4,300. It makes no sense. He should be $5,800. He has been better against right-handed pitching this season than he was even last season. And they just keep dropping his price lower and lower and lower. I have 40% Gunnar Henderson today. Honestly, I'd be fine with more. It's him as the clear number 1 for me, with Francisco Lindor the clear number 2. And I genuinely don't really care about anybody else. You can play Mason Wynn, Dansby Swanson, anybody in your stack, but it's Gunnar Henderson 1, Francisco Lindor 2, nobody else even close.
Okay. Nice Kevin says, hey, Carty, calling Devers is like calling Derek. So, Derek, what are your thoughts there at shortstop?
I agree that Henderson is just egregiously priced. He projects as the top guy on the slate. He's the same play as Bobby Witt and Lindor, a better play than Ellie, and he's like 2K cheaper than all of them. It's dumb. Henderson's your cash guy. Henderson's certainly in your tournaments. There's lots of ways you can play Henderson. The other top guys are all fine. Looking cheaper, I like Willy Adames a lot today at 4K in tournaments. And Marcelo Mayer, he's one of the top prospects in the game. Boston called him up. I think yesterday was his first day. 3K in a solid enough matchup. I think he's definitely a guy you can mix in.
Okay. I tweeted about this yesterday, I think, but one of the minor league guys for Boston, who I think is maybe their next guy who's supposed to be called up, hit an absolute freaking bomb. And then as he was doing his home run trot, he pulled out the cell phone, like, call me up. So really such a baller celebration. I freaking loved it. TJ, your thoughts at shortstop?
TJ's thoughts on outfield.
Sorry.
What? Or Carty's thoughts
something
on
went
outfield.
wrong. Carty's thoughts on outfield. Sorry.
Outfield.
Okay.
Yeah, even though I've been kind of lukewarm on some of the Mets stuff today, I guess relative to TJ in the field, I do think Juan Soto is worth the spend up today. I think he's great. The Baltimore St. Louis stuff, though, is all really reasonably priced, and I like that a lot. Jordan Walker's $3K for St. Louis. You have Cedric Mullins. You have Kjerstad for 2.5 in the Baltimore lineup. Those are the type of guys I like the most. I think Wyatt Langford is really good today and potentially under-owned against Gaussman, who has some of the best name value on the slate, but is maybe not actually one of the best pitchers anymore. Young-Hoo Lee, I like quite a bit. Jaron Duran leading off for Boston looks really good today. Yeah, that's outfield.
Okay. TJ, outfield.
Highest owned guy for me is actually Ryan O'Hearn today in the outfield. Better drop that a little bit. Don't need quite that much Ryan O'Hearn. And then I love Kerry Carpenter, who I just dropped as a Spidey Bum, plus 475 today. It's in that first game. Carpenter is underpriced, not as egregiously as Gunnar Henderson, but still probably about $1,000 lower than he should be. Carpenter, Abreu, O'Hearn, that 4 to 5K range is my favorite, alongside a Riley Green, Brandon Nimmo, Lars Nootbaar, and then Soto and Duran are the guys I'm going to spend up for when I can, and I'm going to be very, very low. I think I have 5% each of Pete Crow, Armstrong, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do some home run calls. You already gave some Spidey bombs out, and we want to make sure that people are taking advantage of the best deal in the industry as well. That's right here with RotoGrinders, MLB DFS annual option, $425. But we've dropped Combo Pro to match that, to get all the sports for just the price of baseball. Why would you not do that? And if you do the 6 month as opposed to month by month, you're saving 35%. So MLB projections, NBA content, PGA data, NFL stuff right around the corner. It is a good time to take advantage of the Combo Pro product at a discounted rate. Okay, how about some home run calls? Carty, you can lead us off. You can give me some DFS calls, some betting calls, whatever. It's your world, man.
Yeah, I loved like the odds on basically everybody in the St. Louis Baltimore game earlier today. They've shifted quite a bit since what they opened at, but you can probably still find some value there. For DFS purposes, Rafael Devers.
Hey, he did it. He did it.
I'm pretty sure when he got called up, people were calling him Devers. I don't know where else I'd come up with that from, but
right. It's not like I know. I don't know.
Rafael Devers, I think, has the best shot on the slate in terms of maybe more under the radar stuff. I think Jake Berger looks good. I think Nolan Gorman looks good. And then for betting purposes, last I looked, you could get Ryan right before the show. You could get Ryan O'Hearn for plus 900. He looked good as a guy with still a pretty good price in the Baltimore game.
Okay. I have a bet for you here. It is a no home run bet before we get to TJ's home run bet. No home runs in the Wrigley game was plus 450, I think, for no bombs. 0 bombs. I don't know. It probably loses, but plus 450, that's pretty good odds. We'll see. TJ, your favorite home run picks. You got Spidey bombs scrolling at the bottom for us.
Looked into it, and I didn't have that on my site, but I did do the alternate under 6.5, and I also did Rockies under 1.5 total runs as I think I got plus 300 for Rockies under 1.5, and then plus 200 for under 6.5. So some good bets there for that game as well. And then I did drop a 5th Spidey Bomb just for fun for the people, because I love the people. It's a holiday for you guys, not for me, but it's a holiday for our wonderful American viewers. And so why not throw in a 5th Spidey Bomb for free? And smash the like button because you love us. So number 1, plus 575, we got Lars Nootbaar, as our guy Roth likes to say. Number 2, we got Pete Alonso, plus 375, subbing in for Mark Viento since he is not in the lineup. Number 3, Gunnar Henderson, plus 500. Number 4, Kerry Carpenter, plus 475. And number 5, sticking with Detroit, Riley Green, plus 600.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Mark D says, hey, Carty, what happened to MLB lineup depth? Like 85% of teams have 3 to 5 automatic outs in their lineup every day. And just from the limited baseball I watch, I do feel like the back end of some of these lineups, like the top of the bottom of the order, Top of the. Anyways, it's rough out there. Is that a thing?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't tried to quantify it. I would guess it's probably more just perception than anything else, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What are we supposed to do now? We take questions. That's what we do now. So get your questions in. I'm starting in the RotoGrinders Discord. That's where the cool kids hang out. Not actually seeing any questions, so we'll jump into the YouTube. Hit the thumbs up for us. We've already gotten a good amount for TJ's Spidey Bombs, but we'd like a few more. It is a holiday after all. And I'll scroll up. Andrew says, TJ, how about Toro at first?
Would rather play him at third because I like first better. I would rather go Young at first at that similar price tag, but he's fine.
Okay. We got some Spidey Bombs, but what was that?
What's Young's pinch hit risk?
Josh Young?
Yeah, number 5 batter for the Mets.
Oh no. Okay, for the Mets, not. He's only been up a couple days.
Jared Young, sorry, Jared Young.
Yeah.
I knew it was a J.
Oh my goodness, 65%. That's high.
Who would be the lefty that they would put in to get him out is what I'm interested in. Because
yeah, that's the thing. That's not factored in. So let's see do they have a lefty in the bullpen that
and then especially I guess considering too that
they have Schuster and they have Isert and they have Boozer, who probably is unavailable today, but
Beatty's batting 6th. He's a lefty. Soto's 3. Like the only right-handed bat and up until Taylor is Alonso. So like I feel like there's a pretty good chance he sees one of those lefties too. Yeah. I'm gonna put Jared Young maybe only in my Mets stacks, but he could just hit a homer in his first one. He's playing Hauser, I guess, but whatever. We'll see. See where we go from here.
Let's go to Jerry's question. Cardi, this one's for you. Suzuki Chapman or Devers Carpenter FanDuel Cash early slate? So someone's playing the FanDuel early slate. Suzuki Chapman or Devers Carpenter?
Devers Carpenter.
Okay. We'll go to Mike and Drew Sports presents The Roundtable, who says, Cardi, how are we feeling about Brendan Donovan in cash?
I feel like he's too expensive. Play Nolan Gorman or play I mean there's plenty of spend up to Devers if you're going to spend that much, or Chapman. Oh wait, no, sorry. No, second base. No, you play Holiday. You play Holiday. That's what you do.
Period. Over.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. End of conversation. My guy, Poe Stoner says barbecue brisket or pork today. I don't know. I'm going to a party with my uncle's place and he is a chef. And just the spread is always outrageous. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm excited. Cardi, you got any plans, food plans specifically?
Yeah, I'm going over to Roth's uncle's house. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. It's gonna work out well for you. Paul says TJ Bailey for cash.
No.
Okay. All right. That was simple. Just a simple no. What else do we got? Any pitchers, TJ, other than Crochet Tyon in play in FanDuel tournaments? Good question. This is for the early slate over there on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'd say probably maybe Hayden Birdsong, just because he's like 7,200 or something, I believe, over there. Let me double check. Where is he? Yeah, 7,200. I would go Birdsong as my number 3.
Okay. Cardi, over to you. This is a single entry DK, a question from Alan in the YouTube. Gaussman or Holmes?
They're almost identical. I guess give me Holmes.
Okay.
But either one works.
Yeah. All right. MT Gaming says, Cardi, your favorite FanDuel pitcher in a GPP. Is it one of those spend up fellers?
Let me just take a quick look to make sure I'm not forgetting somebody.
I think mine's Birdsong.
I think it's Birdsong. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Very good. I assume, what is lock? What is it? 5 after? My phone died. I can't even look. TJ, what time is lock?
Lock is 10 after.
10 after. That ain't happening. We got 19 minutes until lock and we're all out of questions. So we may call this a little bit early here. If you do have any immediate questions, make sure to get them in. Lone Wolf says, what are you going to be drinking today? What do I drink at Pacifico's? It's Pacifico Monday, as it is every Monday in the Roth.
You forget that I'm going to be there, Roth. You know we're doing shots.
Well, that if Carty's there, it's shot Monday. This freaking guy. I would say 3 of the top 10 drunkest I've ever been in my life has been with Carty because he's feeding me shots at a RotoGrinders event.
I wear that as a badge of honor. 3 out of the top 10. That's pretty good.
They've all been very good times for what it's worth. No regrets. Is it crazy, Carty, to pitch Gaussman against DeGrom? Good question. As your DK pitchers,
Like in the same lineup, or just to play Gaussman period because he's facing DeGrom?
No. Like against playing both of them, because one of them gets the win, or
Yeah, I mean it's not ideal. You limit your upside a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible though.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think it's terrible.
Matthew says, Carty, Toro or Jared Young?
Toro. I mean, we just said Jared Young has a 65% pinch hit risk. He might have 2 at-bats.
Yeah. All right. Allie says, TJ, will DeGrom and Gaussman both get 6Ks?
Yes.
Ooh, I like it. Right back to you. Favorite stack to win it all, TJ?
Red Sox.
San Francisco? I don't know why. Is that crazy? San Francisco's just percolating over here. Is that wild?
I like San Francisco today.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Feels San Francisco-ish to me. Let's see. It's Me Breezy says, hey, Carty, the bat likes Lamont Wade. What do you think? Not the bat. What do you think personally?
I think Lamont Wade has been incredibly frustrating this year. But I think for 2.1K in this matchup, I don't mind him. I think he's definitely an option.
Yeah. Okay. Your favorite SP2 Carty on DraftKings. So I guess I don't know if this is cash or GPP.
I mean, Crochet and Tyon are the 2 best. If we're just talking about who your best guys are, that's the pair that's the best.
Yeah. Okay. TJ, DeGrom or Crochet, if you're only playing one, I feel like you didn't maybe have a very strong lean. You were fine with either, but if you're only playing one, TJ, Crochet or DeGrom?
Crochet.
Okay. I am Rice says, what are y'all taking shots of? Carty, it's usually tequila, right? That's your thing?
Tequila's nice. It's like a nice, like fun party kind of thing. But honestly, you can take shots at anything. Maybe next time
that's the problem. Maybe the problem with this guy. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. It's just the shots that matter.
I'll do shots of anything but rum, like straight, just like white or straight dark rum. Like if it's some kind of flavor, coconut rum, whatever, that's fine and easy. But straight rum, I have trouble doing with just because like I get an immediate nausea reaction from the amount of times just like going a little too much with it.
Yeah, that muscle memory of like, that's
college days. Yeah.
Some people, have that one that they just can't do.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, rum is great for mixed drinks and stuff, but I'm with you there. It's not a shot for me.
Nice spice rum or something. Nice rum you can sip on. There's definitely some good rums.
Okay. DK Cash, TJ, O'Hearn or Carp?
Carpenter.
Okay.
That was so tough.
Yeah. Okay. Carty, would you stack Morton with Cards? Would you stack Morton with the Cardinals?
Like play them in the same lineup? No, I would definitely not.
Okay. Paul says,
if you want a cheap guy like that, go with the Palmquist instead of Morton. You can get the same type of thing.
Okay. Paul says, Roth, any updates on the weather? Not really, and I won't have any until pregame when I can look at radar. It's still like 3 hours away or something. So no, there's just one game that's a problem. I don't really know what they plan to do. It's going to rain. It's going to rain. Let's see where we at here. Are the Cubs the best stack on FanDuel, TJ?
Boston still.
Okay. Yep. I need a cheap outfielder. Am I missing questions? You guys are coming with the QQs today. I thought we were going to get out of here early. Can we make a group, TJ, of Crochet and Tyon on DK to not be super chalky? I assume meaning like don't play them together. Yeah, max one.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I would rather, honestly, if it's me, I would rather just double my Crochet and not play Tyon.
Yeah. Okay. Carty needs somebody cheap in the outfield. Is Cameron in Milwaukee in consideration?
Be Daz Cameron. I mean, he wasn't a guy I was really considering. No, against Crochet, no, don't do that.
You got something cheap in the outfield that you prefer?
I mean, it depends how cheap you're trying to go. Kerstad for 2.5, I like a lot as a cheap guy. He's not quite as cheap as Cameron.
Okay.
But if you have the extra 400, I definitely prefer that.
Great. Mike says rum in Jamaica only. I'm down with that. I think they call it a steel bottom. You mix in some rum with a red stripe. Ooh, buddy. Yeah. Ooh, you have 6 of those, you're done. You are done. Paul says best outfielder. Oh, 2,900 and under DK cash in the outfield. Was it Kerstad?
I mean, he's certainly a good option. Yeah. Yeah. Go with him.
Yeah. Okay. A Cardinal, the bird, TJ, came up onto Bootleg Head Chopper's deck today. Is that a sign that he should full stack them?
Yes, absolutely. And I think Carty should probably try and figure out how to update it and put that in the bath as well.
Yeah. We need to update your ranking system. There was a Cardinal on his deck. So just that's a note. I actually saw one this morning. I saw one this morning in my backyard. Maybe it is a sign. Maybe they're telling us something.
I did see a Blue Jay in my backyard the other day.
Nice.
Did the Blue Jays go off that night?
Yeah.
That might have been the day that they put up like 18 runs or whatever it was.
Oh, all right. So yeah.
The bird rankings matter. We got to get that.
They've scored none since.
Mike also says he has a Cardinal in his backyard right now. So there's something. Lock them in, boys. Andrew says Newt Bar or Duran. Is it my boy Newt Bar, Carty?
I like both a lot today. I think I probably like Duran a little bit more, but I don't have a problem if you want to do Newt Bar.
Okay.
And Duran's a little cheaper, I think, too.
Okay. Shout out to Jerry, who says, come to my place in Mississippi for dinner. If it walks, swims, or flies, I grilled it today. That is a great phrase. Jerry, let me know where in Mississippi, because I lived in Mississippi for a few years. So let me know where you're at. Maybe if you're in the Delta like I was. Let's see what else we got. Pretty good. Hey, guess what? AK Boy says, I saw a Morton in my backyard today. Good luck. Okay, last question here. Blink says, can TJ explain the reasoning behind liking Birdsong a decent amount, but the last 2 Spidey Bombs are Tigers? Yeah.
Birdsong is cheap and has a high strikeout rate. So I do not necessarily think he's getting out of this game unscathed, but it's all from a Birdsong standpoint, all about price. And then from a Spidey Bomb standpoint, all about the odds. Kerry Carpenter, I think, should be about 375 in this spot. Riley Green, about 425. So being able to get them at 475 and 600, I really, really like in this spot. And then from a Birdsong standpoint, there's just nobody else cheap that I think has the same strikeout upside as he does. So one, I think either he could get, say, 6 Ks, give up 3 runs and be a fine SP2. But on FanDuel specifically is where I like him the most. Like, I'm not locking in Birdsong as an SP2 or anything. I have 12% on DraftKings. The reason I like him on FanDuel is because he's only projecting for 5% ownership. And there's only 2 other pitchers that everybody is playing. And so because I don't like Tyon, all you need is Crochet to not break the slate, and you can get away with Birdsong on FanDuel.
Yeah. Okay. Good notes. I kind of like this game that's happening here. Dean said, I saw a polar bear in my backyard, so I'm playing Pete Alonso And then AK Boy says, a Pete Crow Armstrong landed on my car. That's good. Those made me chuckle. Okay, hey, guess what? We have done all the things that we came here to do. We gave out the plays. We answered the questions. Hopefully, we got the thumbs up. Make sure you did hit that like button. We will be back later on today with another show. I will not be as sober as I am now, but it should be a good time. TJ will be joining me. Carty, he's going to be grilling. He's going to be partying. That's what he does, taking shots. So for Derek Carty, for TJ, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. Tonight, you have been.